Hey everybody, Sam here.
And Angela, and welcome to our channel. Sometimes in gardening especially, things don't always work out. Things go wrong, and sometimes you just need to call it quits and start over.
Hit that reset button, so to speak. If you guys have been following along with our channel, you'll know that we've been building this garden brand new from the ground up. We have the raised beds we put together and put in this year, the soil and everything we've put in, and we've planted our vegetables probably about a month ago at this point. Ever since then, we've kind of kept track on everything, kept tabs on everybody, make sure they're good. We've fertilized them about maybe once a week, once every 10 days or so with some Dr. Earth liquid fertilizer. We also prepped the beds before we did that with 1010 generic fertilizer mixed into the soil. And then, as we have seen the beans, in particular the beans, deteriorate, we have tried side dressing with other fertilizers, Dr. Earth, a little bit stronger NPK blend, and ultimately to reach the point where we think it's just time we give up on these plants. So we've tried to look up what the reason, what the cause is for these beans to look as terrible as they do. And it's not a clear-cut, here's your answer. We have seen things ranging from not enough water, to too much water, to depleted soils, to fungal infections, bugs, and everything of the sort. As we have looked and watched this particular bed of green beans for about a week now, and we have really been trying to tend and nurse them, we've kind of reached the point to think that we're just not going to have any luck with these plants. I think they're too far gone. Even the new growth leaves, they're very, very slow to pop out. They look very deficient as well. So what we're going to do is scratch all of that. We're going to start over. We're going to take out all of our green beans, re-prep the bed, and start over. Thankfully, the beans that we do grow, they are the bush variety, and their average dates to harvest is from 50 to 60 days, and we live in an area with a long growing season that we can do this. We can hit that big reset button and not run out of time, hopefully. Alright, I'm bringing out the big guns.
Oh, come on.
It's time to get serious about gardening here.
Shoot, that's just a big old...
I got the bonsai rake. Yeah, but no signs of bugs, fungus. If anything, this is like more sandy than what I would think, but we're used to clay soils everywhere we've always lived. Alright, this ain't cutting it.
I wouldn't think so.
So we pulled up the bean plants and looking at the root structures, they look fine. They're not shriveled up. They have some pretty good growth going on. They're not like covered in fungus. We found no evidence of pests or bugs or ants or anything eating them below. It's just that they're just, you know, pitiful. So Angela has been prepping the bed, raking everything, fluffing it up, checking to make sure there's not anything else hidden down there. What we're going to do next is add a bag of black cow. It's a little bit of a soil amendment. We're going to do that just because we don't add more fertilizer to it per se, but we're hoping that, okay, add some black cow, maybe a little more organics to it and help it along. This is the best chance to do it, or kind of the only chance. Well, not the only chance, but the best time to do it. So we're going to go ahead and do that next. All right, I'm going to lay down some cow. Crisscross black cow sauce.
Don't lick your fingers.
All right, do we want to make this all flat, or do we want to kind of mound up the beans into rows?
I think it's fine to leave it like it is and just do rows.
Okay.
So we do have a different variety that we're putting in. We had gone to like the local feed and seed store, and this is what they had available. And so we picked from there. We did the Burpee name brand, Burpee Stringless Green Pod, and they're only supposed to be like 6 inches long, and they only take about 50 days to harvest. We could possibly get another harvest in if we really wanted to this year, which is pretty awesome. So we just got 2 little packs since we only have 1 bed, so let's go ahead and get those in the ground. Every 6 inches. Are we going to do 1 each?
No, let's plant doubles. That's what we always do. We don't know what the germination rate is going to be on these. So you saw in the beginning of this video how I pulled out drip tape, and if you watch our channel again, you'll have thought, wait a second, I thought they removed all that stuff. Well, we left the drip tape on the beans because they were looking pretty bad at that point, and we're like, you know what, let's just wait and see what happens. Also, we ran out of the 1/4 inch tubing, which we just got some more in, and this stuff is great, plus some more drip tape starts or whatever. So we're going to hook this up the same way we did all of our other garden beds you guys saw in the other video. Basically, heating the tip of this with a lighter, pressing it onto this barb fitting, and then plugging this in to our existing irrigation mainline tubing. Then we're going to snake down, around, and come back, right next to where we just planted all the seeds. way I showed you. Bring it all the way to the edge, Lee. Green on there. All right, with everything in place, the last thing we're going to do is actually something that we did not do before, but we are going to do that. We're going to actually mulch the top of this bed to help retain moisture, lower the soil temperature, and give these new beans as much of a head start as we possibly can. For our mulch, we are using just plain wheat straw we purchased from the hardware store. There's a lot of different things you can use for mulch, but basically, if you want our advice, look for something that is obviously organic, safe to use on your vegetables, and does not contain seeds. Last thing you want to do is turn your nice garden bed into a weed bed. That being said, you're not going to 100% not have any seeds in anything you probably buy, unless you make it yourself or you spend a good chunk of change. So just be ready. As weeds pop up, just take them out, pull them out, just like you do anyway with raised beds. The layer of mulch that I'm going to put on this is going to be rather thin. As the plants germinate and grow and pop out of the ground, I will add some more. We will keep dressing it with mulch to retain moisture and everything. But the last thing I want to do is put them in the ground and then cover them up where they won't actually grow. The last thing we will do here, of course, before we water them and everything, is put in a little bit of a device that we're going to talk about in our next video. This is a soil moisture meter, temperature sensor, light meter, and something else. Pretty cool. So we'll stick this guy here down in the straw, which will be nice and cool, and then we'll, like I said, cover this in our next video. Alright, on the scale of Sam and Angela's project videos, no, this one is not like, wow, awesome. But this is one of those things I wanted to share with you guys as a real life thing. It's been something we've struggled with. I mean, the beans, ever since they were starting to grow, they've not looked good. We're trying to figure out what it is, and this is what we're hoping is the fix.
And we've never had problems with it.
Never.
Ever doing beans. We've done all kinds of beans. The only exception is when we tried to put pole beans in the ground last year. They were pretty and green, but they never flowered because the soil was just so depleted that it had nothing to it. But
yeah, this has been one of those things where it's like, wow, how disheartening. New beds, garden blend soil, you fertilize it, you've got it on irrigation, and it still turns out looking terrible. What are you gonna do? Start over?
well, we did kind of figure out, we think it was the soil temperature.
We think so.
It is very hot and very much full sun here. And so we are really hoping that the mulch on top is really going to help.
Yeah. The reason we are also thinking that is because of that thing I showed you guys earlier, little soil meter kind of test thing. We've been watching it for 4 or 5 days maybe. And yeah, the soil temperatures get pretty toasty. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how the beans grow. And of course, we'll give you guys an update as they go along too.
Off camera, I did add the drip tubing in my little herb bed because we had ran out. We didn't have it until now. So it is going to work a lot better to kind of like go around things, and we'll show you some footage. It looks pretty good. It
is cool. It definitely shows off the cool factor of the tiny tubing. You're able to really just wrap around your plants. It's really nice.
So we have that done, and I will be putting a little bit of mulch on top of those too, because that bed is looking very dry as well, even though it does get watered.
Yep. All right, so teaser, if you're already here, I'm probably going to do a separate video talking about soil temperatures and how much does mulch make a difference. So we're on the side of actually a lot of gardeners that you mulch for water retention, moisture retention, and for lower temperatures, which is new to us. We never did this in the mountains of North Carolina.
Didn't need to.
Never mulched anything. But out here in the flatlands of Tennessee, When it's like 100 degrees in the ground, according to the little temperature things, yeah, gotta mulch it.
Yeah. Well, guys, thanks for coming along as we took a little trip down Bean Lane. If you have any questions or comments, leave them below. Otherwise, we'll see you guys next time on the homestead.
See you guys.
Bye.
Roll that beautiful bean footage. No, like, I'm gonna cut your neck off. Bean lane?
Bean Lane. We got 2 lanes of beans.
What is this? Here, swap places.
Off camera, I did add in the irrigation drip tape.
Drippers, drip tubing, whatever.
Okay. See, it looks weird.
Yeah. All right, we'll figure something out.